very, very passionate about the topic of benzodiazepine tapering and withdrawals. And I do understand if you're going through that right now, everything can seem like it is just so surreal. You can feel like nothing makes sense in your life. And I have walked that path. I was addicted to benzos, as I have mentioned in some of my other videos, for 17 years in total. And I do understand how difficult things can be during this time. Despite having lived a life of addiction and trauma, I can honestly say my benzodiazepine tolerance withdrawal was the most horrific experience of my life. But in this video, I want to just tell you a little bit more about myself, if I'm quite honest. I am just some stranger on the internet, but I want to make this video for you just to show you that I have been where you are now, and I do truly understand how dark things can be when you're watching this video. I was a very high functioning individual. I ran several successful companies. Looking back on it now, I can see I was pretty much the person that people relied on to get things done. But sadly, I viewed life through the lens of trauma. My childhood was not great, but like I say, I was a very high functioning person. I had been an addict from the age of 9 years old, and my journey with addiction would last 40 years until I was 49. That would be the last time I would relapse. I was using substances to deal with childhood trauma. Even though I didn't know that at the time, I was disconnected from reality. I suffered with chronic anxiety, depression, and the thoughts of ending it all never ever left my mind. For pretty much my whole life, from childhood, along with that, I had a nervous system that never felt safe. I was always in fight, flight, or freeze. As I mentioned before, I discovered addiction at a very young age. I was 9 years old when I found solvents, and they would lead me down a very dark path that would last 40 years. But I'm still here now, and I'm making this video for you. And I'm going to share a little bit more stuff about myself and just really hopefully be able to connect with you. I am trying to be a little bit more relaxed when I'm making these videos for you, but it's not very easy. I discovered alcohol at the age of 12, and by the age of 15, I was a blackout binge drinker. My addiction with alcohol would last 35 years. I have had to overcome many different substances, but that is why I make these for you, because I do know the absolute evil of benzodiazepine withdrawal. One of the reasons I was able to hide my drinking issues to even myself, never mind those around me, was that I worked in the nightclub industry also for 30 years. So I basically had a license to drink alcohol, take recreational drugs constantly, and everyone around me thought I was in a great mood, having a great time, living a great life. I was already in a very dark place before I got prescribed benzos for anxiety. But before I get to that, one of the reasons I am still here and able to make these videos for you is because despite all of my addiction issues my whole life, at a relatively young age, in my late teens, I got into health and fitness. And I do believe it is only through that addiction, luck, and who knows what else, if I'm quite honest. I have my theories on how life unfolds and lots of other different things, but I don't want to get sidetracked in this video. So I have been into health and fitness for over 30 years, but I also understand the paradox that I was killing myself constantly through bad habits, addiction, and low self esteem, self hatred, you name it. If it was a negative feeling or a negative emotion, I would feel it. And that is how I existed. There was no other reality. Everything was just dark. I always trained. I ate reasonable food, never a health diet, nothing like that, but I ate well. I trained well. I studied everything I could about health and fitness. I had a great interest, which is very strange considering at the same time I was in full blown addiction. By the time I'd reached my early 30s, 32 to be exact, I was just so disillusioned with everything. So I had become interested in Buddhism. So I decided, as a person does who's trapped in addiction, I decided to move to Chiang Mai, Thailand. I wanted to study Buddhism, take up Muay Thai, get into my health, my fitness, and heal from a life of pain I had already endured since existence, if I'm quite honest. So I moved to Chiang Mai with all of these great ideas. But in the back of my mind, I knew if it didn't work out, I would just become another statistic. I just saw it as the next progression in a journey of pain. But before I go any further, I do want you to know I am now fully healed. But I do want to just tell you a little bit more about myself because I want you to understand that where you are now is not forever. It is not permanent. I went to see a doctor. They prescribed me benzos for anxiety, and I took it to the pharmacy. And the very first prescription they filled for me, they told me they didn't need a prescription from the hospital. I could just go there and buy them. Well, that's when things got very dark. And I basically was still a blackout drunk. I wasn't working anywhere, doing anything. I was spending my days studying, going to the temple, training Muay Thai. But then the evening would descend and the alcohol would come mixed with the benzos. I basically disappeared from the world for quite a long time. Nobody ever knew the darkness I was in. I had become amazingly good at wearing the mask of a happy person. And I smile when I say that because it's, wow, the darkness I truly felt back then, and nobody ever knew. So I do know what it's like to be alone. So from there, I'm going to have to fast forward here because my life has been very different. So I'm going to take you to when I returned to the UK in 2019. I was a single parent to a 9-year-old daughter who I adore and worship. And I was in full blown tolerance withdrawal. I was still drinking every single evening just to calm the chaos in my mind. Nobody knew still, nobody had any idea. I was very good at wearing that mask. I had bought back enough lorazepam to last me, I thought, 1 year. And I knew by then I did have to come off those medications. But as I was in tolerance withdrawal, and I did not even know what that meant at the time, I was basically megadosing on a daily basis. I thought I was taking maybe 20 milligrams per day, But I've come to realize through self-reflection and journaling that I was probably taking anywhere between 20 to 40 milligrams of lorazepam per day. So things were not good at all. But I moved back to the UK with my daughter, and I had to go stay with my mother for 6 months until I could find somewhere to live. Then me and my daughter moved into a 2-bedroom home, and I proceeded to crawl my way through each day, totally detached from basically everything. I was detached from reality around me, so detached from everything, from reality itself. I didn't realize how badly my body was deteriorating. I kept going day by day, getting my daughter to school on the mornings, getting home and just sit frozen to the sofa in total and utter fear and terror. I'm not going to go into the whole darkness of it because I know you understand. You're watching this video and everybody else has already swiped away a long time ago. But I'm making this for you because I do know where you are now. But at the same time, I don't want to make this a negative video. I have made other videos about different things you can do during your taper, but I want this one to just be a little bit more relaxed, letting you know that you're not alone and that you will get through this. I do understand that your mind is in chaos. Your nervous system is on fire. Before we go any further, what I would like you to do with me now is take a slow, deep breath. And I will do one with you. We're going to go in through our nose, slowly down into your diaphragm, fill your belly as much as you can, and then hold it for a little while, and then breathe slowly out through your mouth. And I'm going to do one with you now. So what you do is you just get comfortable, and then you breathe in slowly through your nose. You hold it for a little while, and then slowly out through your mouth. You don't have to overcomplicate things. You don't have to count. You can do if you feel comfortable with that. But the main thing to do is make your exhale longer than the inhale. Always remember that when your chaotic mind becomes too much. Slow, deep breaths will help your body to know that you're safe. I do know that you can feel like you are damaged beyond repair. Nothing will ever heal, but nothing lasts forever, not even happiness, not pain. Nothing lasts forever, and I do know you will heal. I've spoke with you about a couple of things in the course of this video. I've had to deal with a lot of issues, the brutality of a benzodiazepine withdrawal and taper. I have been studying mental health and fitness for many decades due to my interest in both topics. And this is why I know some of the most important things that you can do to help yourself during this horrible, horrible thing that you're having to go through. Because I get it, I do. Try to make yourself the smallest, simplest routine that you possibly can for your day. Because throughout my life and everything I've come to learn and know and now live on a daily basis is that slow, mindful breathing and a simple routine and structure for your day is a way that will bring you some calm and some peace. And during your taper, your mind is trying to figure out everything that is going on, but it's quite impossible to do. Our minds want predictability. That is where anxiety comes from, worried about the future. And during our taper, our anxiety is dialed up 1,000-fold. So if you build yourself a small, simple, easy to follow daily routine, be mindful of your breathing, and keep watching some of my videos. I do hope I haven't bored you to death with this one, but I just wanted to make another video and maybe try to be a little bit more myself. Keep the editing down to a minimum, but I am quite a slow talker. I haven't mentioned that in this video. Amongst many other things, I was deaf on one side quite badly up until several months ago when I got fitted with a hearing aid, and the difference has been miraculous, let's just say. I can finally hear what I sound like when I speak, and it's quite a surreal experience. And yeah, it's a different thing. So I normally do have a lot more editing in my videos, as I can tend to ramble on a little bit. As I said before, I have been studying mental health issues for a very long time. It's been for 25 years to be exact. I started studying and my journey to healing after I tragically lost my first child. That just made everything implode to a very dark place. As if the video has not been dark enough, I've already completed many of the courses that you have to undergo in the UK relating to mental health. And I am due to start my psychology degree within the next year. However, I do not have the greatest of confidence in doctors, therapists, and psychologists when it comes to dealing with benzos, as very few of them are knowledgeable about the topic. But I do implore you to try and find a practitioner who is knowledgeable in benzodiazepines, because a slow taper I have found through helping others and through research is pretty much the best way to go. As I'm sitting here now making this video, I am addiction free, no anxiety, no depression, totally healed from the nightmare of the benzodiazepines. And I took my last pill in 2021, and we're coming up to the end of 2025. And I truly can say I am fully healed. Anxiety and depression do not exist in my reality. If I can give you just one thing to take away from this video, apart from all of the chaos in your mind, your central nervous system is stuck in survival mode. And that is why slow, deep breathing is very important during this time. And you will come to understand that slow, deep, mindful breathing is a transformative way to live. And I know as you progress through your journey of healing, I know you will continue to do the mindful breathing, as even though it may not seem to help now, it will help you going forward from this day. You have to just keep practicing. Be consistent with your effort. When you get all of the chaos in your mind and your nervous system feels like it's on fire, recognize to yourself, this is the benzodiazepines. It's not who I am. And take your slow, deep breaths. And I do know over time, If you build yourself a little routine, practice your self-care, and concentrate on your breathing, you will start to heal. Today is all that matters. Everything else is irrelevant. We never know what is coming in the future. I never thought for a million years I would end up being the man I am today. I didn't think this kind of peace existed. It's a crazy thing to even contemplate. I can put myself back to where you are now, and I wish I could have found a video of positivity and no self-pity, because if you have self-pity, that will make your journey so much worse. You cannot be a victim. If you have self-pity, that will make your journey so much more difficult. You will still heal, but our minds during this time crave structure and routine, and our bodies crave deep, slow breathing. So please concentrate on those things, and I know you will get through this. I have uploaded different videos that might give you some ideas on things that may help, and I have noticed in Western society, everybody wants a quick fix. But what you will learn during this time is that everything comes with patience and consistency. And I know you will heal. It takes time, it's a process. So over time, your mind and your body will heal. I am fully healed from everything, both mentally and physically. So I want to remind you, you are not broken. You are not going crazy. Your mind is trying to make sense of everything. Your mind and your body are trying to protect you. Your mind and your body are all out of sync. Everything is in chaos. So your structure and your routine will help you along with your breathing. That will give your mind some calm and your body some reassurance that you are safe. You're not broken. You're not crazy, and you will heal. And I do know you will find your peace and your calm if you keep going every single day and you never stop, you never give up.